Okay, I think we can start. Quickly, let me check the participant list. And the chat. I see that Serhi will need to start the agenda. Okay, that's fine. I will just quickly go through the usual stuff, and then we can do that. Okay, welcome everyone to today's Metal3 community meeting. My name is Adam Rosman, and I will be your host today. Today is the 13th of May 2026, and we don't have new participants, so we can keep the introductions, reminders. Please remember that the meeting is being recorded and it will be uploaded to YouTube. If you would like to help the project, then please follow the link from the meeting document or from the main GitHub project page and look for help wanted and good first issue labels, or use the issue tracker, the issue search functionality of GitHub, and look for these issues that are waiting for someone to contribute or resolve them. That would help the project a lot. If you think that your organization would be willing to publicly acknowledge the adoption of Metal3, then please do so by pushing a pull request to the community repository and edit the adopters.md file in the root of the repo, same as others have done before. And that would help us track the level of adoption. If you are experiencing CI-related problems or other infrastructure-related problems on your pull requests, and you think that certainly is not your fault, then please create an issue in the affected repo and then link that issue to the Metal3 CI tracker project. And that way we could track it much more easily. And if you're interested about any other deliverables or statistics or any other topics like documentation, then please check out the links here in the meeting document or on the main GitHub page of the project. Okay, we don't have anything from last week. Is there anyone who would like to bring up something related to working groups?
We may pick up the scaling topic again from the angle of actually scaling, because there seem to be renewed interest in my downstream and actually understanding how many, like this permanent question of how many hosts we can actually provision and manage reasonably. So hopefully, no hard promises yet, and probably not like in the coming weeks, more of midterm. Speaking of which, I'm actually curious if anyone can share that. How many hosts have you seen managed, and by how many instances of Metal3 in a HA, not HA scenario? If anyone can share publicly your order of magnitude, that would be pretty helpful. Otherwise, we're probably gonna try to test something.
Okay, I was just writing it down, but I already finished writing, and my Google Doc is still typing. Okay, so yep, that would be interesting to know. I think we discussed a few times on Slack. From my part, I only seen I think in the neighborhood of a few hundred. That was the most. So you are probably interested in others who seem much more than this.
200 like low, high. I mean, 200 more like 200 or more like 800.
It was almost exactly 200. I don't know if it was approximated from above or below. I don't remember if it was 205 or 195 or something like that, but very close to 200. What I've seen myself.
Thank you.
And that was with single ironic conductor or single ironic deployment. Okay. Anyone else? Any comments, questions related to this or any other working groups?
Question: do we still have this AI working group?
Not that public, but there is a lot of work, I think, that's been done with AI nowadays and in the background, but there was no topic so far that required, I think, like much more community consensus. I don't know if anyone is planning to bring up something in the near future. I think the last stuff that we discussed was this review bots and our general approach to allowing AI in contributions. Is there anyone who would like to or is planning or has a vague idea, something related to AI that we should maybe in the future discuss? Yeah, I can remove this one from here if you think that's not necessary, Dimitri. This reminder like this. Yeah, okay, looks like no AI topics, nothing, no artifacts or anything else. I guess then we can continue with the roadmap. So related to the 1.13 cycle, I think this cycle is almost finished. The only component that has not been released for this cycle is the CapM3 1.13. The others have been actually released, but I think there will be an official release announcement only when everything is out. But just FYI, you can already check those two that has been published. And last week, I think we have checked the milestones. Any question, comments related to the 1.13 cycle or related to the next cycle, or someone eager to be part of release team? No? Okay, then let's continue. There is one discussion topics from Serhi. He has to drop, so let's start with that one.
Yes, thanks, Fox. I wanted to mention that I've handled a bunch of comments from Dimitri, and also the important thing is that I've added additional workflow into this that basically emulates the how it would out of tree work. So it basically creates a repo, Git repo from scratch, adds all the stuff that it needs to vendor in the model itself, and basically injects using demo provisioner and injects into that Go mod additional dependency, so we can really see if it works, and it works. So I wanted to highlight that maybe we can do another round of reviews, maybe all Copilot stuff, something like that, and hopefully we can merge it soon.
Yeah, I initiated the Copilot review now. Thanks for the update. Anyone, any comments on this one? Well, it might be that Dimitri has dropped, or we just can't hear you.
I don't have a lot of comments, no.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Just juggling 3 or 4 things at the same time, sorry, and
yeah, no worries.
I don't have strong opinions on this. If it doesn't break anything and doesn't make maintainability much worse, I'm okay, just fine. I know Zane was not particularly fond of this, but because of time zones, we cannot have Zane here.
He mentioned that he thinks we can render in the bare metal operator as a default, but it would work because we have internal packages.
I think it's between only the two of you, to be honest, with Zane, because I'm on the same opinion as Dimitri. Like, if you are not breaking anything, and you, as far as I remember, you have relatively little code that's part of the BMO that we have to maintain, or yeah.
Code is pretty much static. I mean, function declare plugins and mostly like the hard part, the CI, I guess, because there is like a dedicated patcher binary right now in there for testing out the out of tree flow. So it just patches single endpoint of get health to run some kind of simple Starlark evaluation script, because like we don't have Starlark in Go mode, and I'm doing out of tree, injecting the import into that and evaluating it and verifying that if it works. I don't think, I mean, we can drop that if we don't want to test it, but in general, to show if the thing works, it works. I mean, you can extend additionally with additional dependencies your out of tree plugin. You don't have to mirror exactly one by one. You just need exactly the same environment, and in our case, it's just a regular GOB environment that is rendered in, plus the Go mode of the BMO itself, and in addition, additional packages that you want to put in. So that works. You still need to be careful enough to bring in new dependencies that will not override the BMO, but it's all in the out of tree stuff. So like in general case, you don't need to worry about this, because most of the things you will use is mostly, I guess, like HTTP, and HTTP is building into core of Go, so it just works.
Yeah, I'm not worried about these things. Just only the maintenance footprint that I'm trying to gauge here. But that's not, we don't have to discuss that here. But everything is basically brand new stuff. So I am also completely fine with these things. I asked for the Copilot review. Let's see what the Copilot finds. Not much. One comment. So yeah, check that one comment, please, and then I will try to go through this in more detail, and
Yeah, I will
let's see.
on this hopefully later today. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Checking the chat. I don't see any more comments. Okay. Then we have something from Nutti. I was discussing this with Nutti. We can go through this on the triaging anyways, but yeah, there was this proposal to inject a file like separately from the user data, just file injection directly to the disk, to the root disk, or I think the Ironic file injection plugin only supports or IPA file injection plugin only supports injecting to the root disk. I don't remember, but anyway, to opening up this existing functionality. And then I see user data related comment. I will keep the cursor here and then you can read it, but it's just injecting like arbitrary files. So why not the user data? User data is generally controlled in many scenarios, especially if you use it with CapM3 or some sort of other consumer of PMO, then that's where the user data comes from. And specifically in cluster API CapM3 case, it will have it will be controlled, or the source of truth will be the Bootstrap provider, and then if you would like to inject something else, let's say in a multi-tenant use case, that is not visible to whoever is using the consumer, the CapM3 in this case, then you could do it like this. And it's purely file injection, so it's not a script that we run or download or whatever. It's just file injection. And there was, as far as I know, an existing Ironic Python agent plugin for this. So that's why we thought that this could be a good addition. That was the idea behind it.
Honestly, you made me more worried than less in this comment. I really did not like idea of silently injecting something in the user image. Like really, actually, my next biggest concern would be how is all this even going to work in a multi-tenant environment. And what you suggest actually worries me a lot, because like image is controlled by user data is controlled by user, but the admin is injecting files into their image. That sounds like a dangerous path into I'm not sure where. Like, how is it even going to work with all images? Like, I provide a Windows image, what you're gonna do at this point? Like I provide a non-standard Linux image like CoreOS, what is going to happen? Are we gonna just fail this host? Also, how is it in a multi-tenant scenario? How is it even related to a host? How is it a host property? Don't mind reading a design on this, but I really, really want to have user stories very solid on the multi-tenants aspect of this, because the brief description actually makes me more worried than less in this case.
But then what was the idea behind the Ironic plugin or the IPA plugin that's already able to do this?
IPA is Ironic in general is a bit like toolbox and slash framework. So we have a lot of things that you can mix and match, but not all of them mix and match into a coherent story that you can just then deliver in a high-level project like Metal3. Like similarly, OpenStack Nova doesn't expose even half of the features that Ironic has for this very reason. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, okay.
I kind of see the logic of not wanting to modify user data. It's a bad logic, but I see this because I'm in a similar situation where user data is coming from something else and modifying it as a pain in the neck. But I'm quite curious how that all is going to work in a multi-tenant scenario. Let's make sure we don't shoot ourselves in the foot with that. That's my biggest request. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I understand your point. I mean, yeah, it's I was bringing up the positive side for the multi-tenant, but then yeah, you have a good point that if like from the consumer side, there is kind of a trust issue that how do you know that someone is not injecting something else? But then even in like, I don't know, like just a dumb example, even in like managed OpenStack examples where I was like just a customer, just a user, I've seen that they are like, it's not just my cloud init that was running, but whatever the cloud provider was providing also. So yeah, I understand that in certain scenarios this can be concerning. It would be just an option, but to be honest, I don't have right now a proper multi-tenant use case, as in general we don't have really everything handled for PMO multi-tenancy. So I think we are in like the right time or early enough so that we can discuss it. Yeah, let's make sure we are not shooting ourselves in the foot. So that's why right now only the issue is here, because we were discussing this and our approach was that let's not implement anything, let's not put too much effort into it. Just we noticed this plugin and were thinking that can we cook something that's useful for everyone. But as I said, it's not something that's urgent, or yeah, we have time to consider this one.
Oh yeah, I'll repeat my comment on the bug just so we don't forget it.
Yep. Okay. I will actually put already like needs more info. Yeah, after you commented, I will put some needs more info and then also convey internally to note that it will be a longer discussion. No worries. Okay. Is there anyone, by the way, who would like to discuss this, or maybe has a use case that's more concrete than just our idea? I'm checking the chat. Okay, if nothing, then let's continue with the next one. So on the Slack, you probably read we have regressions in the v35 ironic image, not in ironic, in the ironic image, related to PXE functionality, and I have so far found 2 or 3 depending on how you count, but there are 2 fixes, and one of the fixes is related to the optional feature, this supporting custom iPXE firmware. And what we broke here is that on v35 you have to have actually both an ARM and an x86 EFI if you want to use the custom firmware, but users were not required to provide these for now and until now, and there is no, in my opinion, there is no reason to make them cross-compile an ARM or an x86 if they don't need to, especially because this custom iPXE building could happen in runtime actually. So that's also extra time and whatnot, but just generally unnecessary to have both if you don't need. So my question is that now it's merged into the main. Is it okay to merge this one or backport this one to v35? Because in my opinion, this is not a new feature. This is a bug that we have inadvertently broke, this functionality.
I don't really remember how it was in before I made the change to these parts.
Yeah, this was just like this. I don't know if you.
Yeah, no, I mean, like before we what introduced the bug basically. So were we just copying the x86 and
Yeah.
the UNDI only? So those two
Yep.
were needed. Okay.
Yeah, it was only the x86 and the legacy KPXE stuff, and then when folks worked on the ARM support, they just added it, but that kind of broke the custom firmware part.
I don't have any objection in backporting it. It's pretty kind of a limited function, and it's not like doing anything to someone that would already be having all three of them or anything. So
Yep.
I guess I'm fine with it getting backported.
Yep, I also feel like that. Thank you. Anyone else and any other comments? Any objections? I would ask it like that. Any objections to backport this support for partial firmware, custom firmware delivery or loading? That support like fixing it. Yeah. Okay, I don't see any objections. So I will cherry pick this one. Back to 35. Yeah. And we can continue then. Yeah, the other fix has been backported. I will just show it because let's be informative about what's happening. So this is this was two issues. One was simply a result of the template rendering. This character caused too much of the empty lines to be deleted. That we have a report for. So we actually had an upstream issue for this problem. This one I also changed because this was also breaking things. And that's what I was commenting on, one of the issues, that ironic TLS setup does not equal iPXE TLS setup. There could be like in the code, it does not mean the same thing, but functionally you could have a TLS enabled ironic where you have the API behind TLS, your disk images behind TLS, but you might have a legacy iPXE setup for reasons. And we have the functionality, and it is written in a way that you can disable TLS just for the iPXE. You could simply have no functionality to have a custom iPXE that has the TLS enabled, or you have it enabled but you don't have the cert. So anyways, these two things are not synonymous with each other, and that was causing also a boot failure. And then feel free to interject or say something. And then there is also work ongoing. I'm not sure if it has been merged related to this, but Leonard is improving the end-to-end testing for this specific fallback scenario. So let me see E2E if I can find it for you. It might have been merged at this point. One moment. I can get it for you. Just yeah, this one. So and I think Dimitri, you have also commented on this, and I was discussing some approaches with Leonard that I think we can improve further, but this is good enough for now, so that we can actually verify in the BMO E2E test that we are not using the fallback PXE script, but we are actually taking the node-specific iPXE script. So I will put this here in the document also, because I think this is also important.
Oh, this is the reason why it didn't.
Catch it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This was, we were also wondering why, what happened, and then yeah, it was using the fallback. That's why we didn't catch it. Yep. Any comments, questions related to this one? Just wanted you to get up to speed with this, because that's why we will have a patch release.
Just on this one, I will close the PR I made that was changing the set, because, well, it makes no sense now, since well, except if we still want to go from adding lines to substitution, but it wouldn't be doing more than that now, so I'm not sure it's still relevant.
Yeah, I think it's not relevant. We don't need to keep it anymore. And I think I will also close the issue that we got for the templating problem, because then that's also resolved now. Yep. Checking the chat. No additional comments, questions. Okay. Then next one, a review request from Dimitri.
Yep. Things here. One has been finished for quite a while, and I think it already passed a few Copilot reviews. It's new end-to-end tests for the for detached feature we recently merged and actually delivered in 35. I think we actually should be testing such exotic features because they're very easy to regress and they are very rarely to be tested. And I have, by the way, a side question here is, do we actually hit any limits on our functional tests? Because I really want to write a lot more functional tests for BMO, but I'm curious if you're going to tell me to stop at some point because we run out of something, for instance. Like I want to do host firmware setting, host firmware components at the very least, maybe OCI images, maybe a few other odd corners of BMO.
No, you can write as many as you want. If we run out of GitHub runners, then we put them on Oracle Cloud VM-based test. If we run out of those, we will put them on yet another thing. So we have like 3 different infrastructure that's backing up the CI. So we have a lot of resources.
Cool. Then yeah, I'm working on. I already have host firmware settings kind of done, but I discovered all these 3 bugs in the process of doing that. One in Ironic already fixed, one in BMO, and one in Sushi Tools. So fixing all the things as we go. But this one is ready. I think it works pretty well. So happy for any feedback. It's the only awkward part is it introduces explicit support for accessing Ironic, which is what you're looking at, because otherwise this test heavily relies on timing. If I catch it at the wrong time, for example, it won't be a forced detachment, and I will unknowingly exercise normal detachment. So to make sure I'm actually forcing detachment, I'm checking with Ironic what is actually going on behind the scenes and issuing requests at the right time. That makes the test predictable, but it also adds this whole helper for creating clients.
Okay. Yep, I would need to review this. But it looks good.
Cool. And the other one, what did I put there? The other one, it has it's a design proposal. It has AI comments which I haven't addressed yet, but since it's a design proposal, I'm happy for early feedback. It's for fast / out of band inspection.
Yep. Okay, and you are just requesting review for this, right? So let's read it. And
yeah, there are some valid points that AI provided, but I think it's useful for somebody to review the big picture, which AI cannot review anyway. Especially people who care about fast inspection potentially, and there may be people here who do.
Yeah, I'm interested in it. I think we have use cases for this one, although not that urgent, but I certainly support this feature. Oh, quite long proposal. Yeah, I will read the proposal. How urgent is this one for you, Dimitri?
It's not urgent at all. No, it's kind of low priority for me. I just wanted to get the design out of the way.
Yep. Okay. Okay, then please folks read it. But yeah, in general, good addition. Okay, we checked Serhi stuff. I'm checking the chat. Okay. Then next one is from me, just FYI. As I mentioned last time, we are participating in the, I'm in the project and I am the coordinator of the engagement itself. So no action needed, just FYI. We are participating in this Linux Foundation mentorship program for new contributors and students and whatnot. Pretty nice framework actually. So if you previously participated in mentorships and you would like to, but you don't know where or how or your, I don't know. I heard the Dimitri you mentioning that the other mentorship program that Ironic is usually participating in is kind of on life support. So in any case, this is quite lively, this LFX mentorship. There are a lot of projects that are participating and it has a great system for mentors and mentees, I think. So yeah, just FYI, and this is our project, and the expected outcome of this specific one is to get integration in MetaCube integration into the headlamp. Headlamp is, as I understand, the quasi or actual official web UI of Kubernetes, and Cluster API got their plugin via this program. I think just in the last, like the previous term, maybe it's even still ongoing actually, but the plugin is already up, and we will have a similar plugin. At least that's the hope. And we already have a mentee or someone who is very active and applied to be a mentee and already showed me quite a lot of like design proposals, both written and the proof of concept and everything. So I'm very hopeful. So yeah, just so you know. Any questions, comments related to this one? Yep. Okay. Then next one, granular steps for BMH, granular provisioner steps, and this is from Sunat.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute my button.
Yeah, no worries.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to discuss this implementation together with you all. Yeah, there was some comments about it, some concerns. So if you go a little bit, I explain how I did it. If you go on the top.
Top, like here?
Yeah, here. So there is a new filter added to the bare metal host status. So this, like last time, as we agreed, like the progress 3, it will show the steps completed, and then if it has a steps like available, it will show that steps as well, like the ironic steps. And once like the provision is completed, so everything will be gone. Yeah, that's the best way I came up with. Yeah. But the thing is, I think that Dimitri was saying that exposing the ironic step is not a good approach. Yeah, but I couldn't find like any other way because the ironic steps are very can be kind of customized, and it's very different for different setups, right?
Yeah, I don't mind if you don't provide verbose descriptions for all possible steps in the world, since yeah, you can write your own, and we do write our own in Rapid Shift. I'm also thinking that we are dropping a lot of usefulness from here by exposing users to just the steps. Because certain things there can be mismatch. Like for example, ironic calls think bias we code firmware settings. This can be quite confusing. So I was thinking initially, maybe we keep what you are doing. Even we report the step name as it is, but maybe provide for the known steps. If we have a list of maybe around 20 steps, we know what they're doing. We provide the verbose human-friendly description, short human-friendly description, and you can see this my ideas in the spec. The second and actually bigger problem that I have with this is if you have a few places where you put provisioning state as activity, and this can be quite confusing. I don't know if people, okay, wait callback may be half understandable. Are people going to understand clean wait? Can you actually explain what
Clean
clean
wait.
wait is? Yeah, that's what you're going to report. That's what your patch is going to report.
Yeah, I understand. No, probably not. But the thing is, how to do the better way, because like if you think from the perspective of a debugging person, so it would be really useful, because it's during the provisioning, if something happens, it will stay like that, and then you can add, like if you don't know, then you can go and search, right? What is it doing, and for debugging. But anyways, otherwise, like you need to go and dig ironic logs and find out, and then, but anyhow, you're gonna find this clean step.
Yeah, I'm not saying we should take a step back. I think we need to just take a step forward and actually decrypt the things for users. Like not say wait callback, I expand it to, I don't know, waiting for RAM disk agents or whatever. I'm not very good at human speaker, like waiting for agents to call back or things like that. Just maybe have a mapping in BMO code where we map all known conditions, or in the ironic provisioning, to be more specific, when we map known conditions to human-friendly descriptions of what is going on in the terms that Metal3 uses, like not bias, but firmware settings. So when we report step name bias.apply configuration, and we report, I don't know, description is applying firmware settings. That's roughly what I'm thinking about. Or if we don't find a deploy step, we know that, okay, deploy step being empty and the list of deploy steps being empty, it means that RAM disk is still booting, and we don't just know. We can report that instead of saying wait callback or clean wait service wait with things. And we can report the same thing for them, by the way. We don't have to distinguish service wait from clean wait. We can just say waiting for the RAM disk or something like that. That's what I would do. I don't suggest we drop what you're doing, but I think it's going to be much more useful if we take a step forward, and especially in the view of Adam and the other person working on a UI, these things are going to end up in the UI. So imagine somebody looking at UI will be looking at that, and we say, oh, that's a table where do this, and that, and like ironic step names are going to be not very helpful.
Okay. So you're saying that like I need to kind of remove the name from here and then add a description instead?
I don't even suggest removing step names. Let's add the third thing and have a description.
Okay, so the name,
If you think
state,
step
and
names are
description.
useful, let's keep step names, just add a human description. I'm more
Okay.
object about setting activity to node provisioning state. I think that is going to be pretty confusing.
Which one? Which one?
You can, this comment, and there are a few other places where you do the same thing. I think that is going to be risky because ironic provision state can be confusing. I think we need to decide if activity is going to be, I think I would mostly put activity as a human-friendly description because you can already deduce a step name from the list of steps. So I'd keep activity for human text, and everyone is free to object because I don't have a lot of time. I have 7 minutes until the next meeting, so I'm trying to dump all my thoughts. I'd keep activity as human friendly, and I would transfer this logic here as, okay, there's no clean step. That means we are booting the RAM disk, and put like booting the RAM disk instead of clean wait. That's my logic here. And then if anyone wants to understand which steps are running, they can check the step list.
Okay. So yeah, if I have done it like quite a while ago. So this in here, the activity will end up in the current activity. Okay. So what? I think I'm doing it because if there is no states available. Oh no. I need to go back and check because I have done it like a month ago and then I didn't touch it. But yeah, I will look into that and probably because I didn't understand everything you said here.
Yeah, we can continue on the patch. I'm a bit in a hurry,
Yeah,
sorry for
we
that.
can. Yeah. No problem. It's fine. So just one last question. So what are you suggesting to set like as activity? So the description of the provision, like
It's
so.
either description of the step if we know the step, or if we don't know the step, we just guess what is going on. And we can't guess that because we know what is happening in reality. In reality, if there is no step, it means the RAM disk is booting. We can just say that. I can help you with all this. I have a mental picture of what is going on in Ironic. I can help you match even if you just create a table somewhere, I don't know, in Google Doc, I can help you fill in what can be happening in which case.
Okay, yeah.
And sorry, folks, I need to
No,
drop for the next meeting in like 4 minutes.
no problem.
But thank you so much for taking this work. I think it's super valuable. I appreciate what you're doing. I just want more of it.
Yeah, that's great. Initially I thought like you were a little bit opposing it, but yeah, now we clarified the grounds. Thank you very much.
I think it. See you, folks.
See you. Yeah, I think that was a good discussion. Anyone, any other thoughts or comments on this? Meaning on the granular provisioner steps. Checking the chat. Okay, nothing then. I think last thing left is triage. Let's get this done quickly. This newest. Okay, pre-boot file injection. This won't be accepted yet. Let's continue the discussion. Yeah, needs information. Okay. Next one. Node reuse and roles when control plane is not kubeadm. So the kubeadm control plane may fail, especially if node use is set.
So the way node reuse is implemented has changed recently because following the annotation for finding the Metal3 machine template was brittle with CAPI. And so the way now is to really read either the machine deployment or the control plane resource and find the machine template from there. But the code has been designed to support whatever control plane resource is given. So it's used and structured. for reading the resource. But you can't do this for the role. The role that is written in the notation is for kubeadm control plane. And so if you want to use the CAPM3 with, for example, RKE2, you need to change this role. And don't think so far the documentation has been updated. So that's one point. But if you already use it, you will notice that in most case, you manage to upgrade a cluster even if you do not have the right role. And the reason for that is that when you fail with the permission to read the control RKE2 control plane, for example, you've got an error, but this error at above is considered the same way as for a not found. And so it just decides that you're not in a node reuse case. And so it means that for me, you have something like two kind of bugs. The first one being not real one, the one on for the role, because you can easily fix it as a user. But the two makes that you succeed. But it also means that if you have a transient error while doing this process, you will decide that you're not using node reuse. And if you have a volume to preserve behind this, you may just crash your node and just because of this transient error. So I think we should better protect, replace this not nil by R is not found. And if it's another error, we should just raise the error and reconcile again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This will require some pondering from my side, but I never considered like a different control plane. I mean, I considered non-kubeadm. No, I actually didn't. Yeah. It sounds reasonable. I will accept this one. Let's see how the implementation will look. But if as you explained the two bugs, the second one, the transient error, is the more interesting.
For the first one, I only think that we can just state somewhere in the documentation that if you're not using kubeadm, you need to change the role for your deployment.
Yep.
There's no easy fix because we are not going to put every possible control plane resource that exists in the CAPI ecosystem.
Yeah. Okay. Bug wise, I'm a bit hesitant to call this a bug. But yeah, okay. Let's leave it as it is, because yeah, we never said that it would work with anything else other than kubeadm, but it's kind of, I guess, expected from the users, because we also don't state it explicitly that it's not. Okay. Yep. I think we are on the same page with this. Anyone, any comments related to this?
Just one about the fact that if we make it well, I think we want to make it easier to use not kubeadm things, and so I guess the follow-up to this bug might be the need to have some, maybe one end-to-end case that is not using kubeadm.
Yeah. K3s or whatever. Yeah, I agree. This has been circled, this topic, many times, that the kubeadm focus is a bit too much, and a lot of edge scenarios or much more scaled scenarios, and different users have actually needs for other control planes, and also other bootstrap providers and whatnot. So yeah, I agree. Eventually, we would need other E2 use case for this, or even couple. But then that maintaining that will be kind of a bit more substantial burden, because those versions, like the version of those control planes, have to be maintained, matched against all of our releases. So when we start doing that, I think either explicitly or implicitly, we will say that we are now supporting XYZ control planes, and we are testing for those, and those tests then have to be maintained and then deprecated when they are not maintained. So I'm not against that. I just really would like to be reassured that there will be members in the community who maintain different control plane tests and whatnot. Yeah, just saying, like this level of like modification that we just a bit edit the transient error and do a little bit of documentation. Yeah, that has no maintenance burden really, but if what you say, like that we start introducing E2E tests specifically for them, those have. So we have to approach that, in my opinion, with that in mind. But it's a legit request.
Yeah, on my side, it was more like not just to ensure that we do not cause a regression for others bootstrap provider, I would say, but not to support multiple ones, but just to ensure that we have two, so that we are sure that we are not doing something that is specific to a single one.
Yeah, I see what you are saying. Okay, yeah, makes sense. If we phrase it like that, I still kind of feel that we wouldn't cover like a third or a fourth that might break. But if you feel confident, because I don't have much experience with this, but if you feel confident that if we are testing against two, that's a good coverage that says that we most likely are not breaking it for others either. I can accept that also, because as I say, I don't know, I never used anything but the kubeadm.
From my experience, it's not completely true that you will not break something for the specificity of another one, but you are sure not to you are sure not to end up in a case where you rely on something specific.
Yeah, okay.
So it doesn't remove the fact that you may end with an issue. It just removes the fact that we will not be like, well, the issue is then more likely to be on the Bootstrap provider than it is to be on our side, is what I mean.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. A lot of people are dropping. Let's keep going. Timeout for short GitHub workflows. Yeah, okay. We can have more aggressive timeouts. Recently, I don't know if you noticed, for me, recent weeks GitHub connectivity was very weird, and I heard it from others also that different features were breaking. I noticed even on the GitHub status that there were a few days where there was quite a lot of red. So I can understand this one.
I have heard they started using AI for development.
Could be that that's the reason. I hope not, but who knows?
Yeah.
Could be. Okay, remove V1 beta 1. Yeah, we are slowly, or not that slowly, but transitioning to V1 beta 2 in CapM3. So certainly we will need this one. Hmm. Didn't yeah. Okay. I have to check this because this might be also. I had similar issue, but that was related to the Go version. I used to build the test.
I have checked it. I have reproduced it. Yeah. What is she? The person is reporting is correct.
But which Go version have you used?
25.
So it's happening for 25 too. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's accept this.
The error message changes there. I think I cannot remember exactly what was the issue, but there is the check of the IPv6, I think, and then the error message changes.
Yeah. But okay, I have to check. Yeah, I got this error, and for me, I strongly remember this is related to Go version. If you use older versions, I will have to check what my version is right now. But I even had a discussion related to this one. That it's actually only happening for old older versions. And then also building O.13 with 1.22. I don't think this is supported. Don't we require minimum 24 or something like that? I have to check this, and I have to compare it with your specific. Is it 1.25.0 you are using, or you have used?
25.9. Let me check it.
Because it might have been that you have to have 25 higher than 9. I vaguely remember.
No,
like
it's
that.
the .0. So
.0. Okay, then it has to be .9 or above or something. Yeah, with .0 I also seen this. I think so. I think this will be some Go related, Go version related problem rather.
yeah.
Yeah, let's hold it a little bit. I formulate a better answer to this one, because I run into this, and then even had a discussion and have a reason why we are not fixing this. Okay. Ironic running among workloads. This. Then of this. Yeah. This is okay. Yeah. Running among the workloads. Is it bug? Is it feature? Feature.
Did we decide how to like where to put our like Metal3 stack components?
I mean, I think the ask here is just to have an option to have node selector. It's not that we opinionatedly say that it goes to CP or goes to workload or whatever. Just give the user the ability to decide where to put it.
Thanks.
DNS servers from IP pool is not rendered to metadata. That's a problem. But what I've seen, okay, I vaguely remember I've seen them to be rendered there. Okay. I have to reproduce this because yeah, that's a problem. That's a serious problem, actually. It's a broken feature then. It has to be reproduced. Okay. Okay. I believe you. I never checked that. Ports not recreated if INEC database have been dropped. Okay. Okay. And this is BMO. Let's put it on milestone 14. I see there has been quite a lot of work with it. Hmm. Link checker. Okay. I think now we reached the end. Oh, I know it was a bit long, but I think we triaged everything, and there's only 3 of us left. So yeah, thanks for joining today, and thanks for being here until the end. And then let's meet next week at the same time. Same. Wait, let me check. Will we have it actually next week? No, I think next week we won't have. I have to actually notify the community because next week a lot of people will be on KCD. Yeah, so I will send out a message on Slack and an email, and probably ask someone to facilitate it. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.